Hello everybody. What I thought I'd do today for all the children not in school is just to do a simple little watercolour sketch. Normally, as you know, I work in acrylics, but this is just a way to get into painting. And I think we'll do a few tutorials along the way and perhaps get onto some acrylics and a bit of perspective. So a simple picture today, I'm going to pretend I'm sort of on the prom at Morecambe, looking across Morecambe Bay. So I'll start to draw a sailing boat in the bay. So I'm just going to draw a very light line across there. Even though I draw and work every day, I still get things wrong all the time. So the secret is to use a nice soft pencil and just lightly sort of sketch it on. And then if it goes wrong, it's easy to rub it out. So then we'll pop a mast up there for the boat. This is going to be the sailing boat again. It's just a sketch, so I'm not using rulers or anything like this on this one. And then we're going to put a nice big sail on this, coming to the front like that. And then another one in here like that. We can have those like that. And then we'll have a nice big sail at the back of the boat. And a little bit of mast going up there like that. And we'll have just the outline of a couple of people at the back of the boat. So that's how I'm just a very quick sketch. So and then I'm going to put the horizon in, just going through the sails there. And that's when we look across Morecambe Bay and where the sea hits the Lakeland Hills. So behind that, we'll just put the Grange Hills and then the Lakeland Hills can go in behind that. And as artists, we can always exaggerate things a little bit. So I'm just doing it like that. And then that's the basis of the picture. So now we move to the next stage and I'm going to do some watercolours. So I'm going to start at the top of the picture and work my way down. The paint will dry quite quickly, but it's easier to work at the top and work down and then not putting our hands in the wet paint. Again, when we're using acrylics, children I've worked with in schools and know I dry the paint with a hairdryer. So I get quite a large brush for this guy and I'm just going to get a tiny bit of blue paint on there, not too much. A bit of toilet roll I always use for cleaning brushes. And then I'm just going to do horizontal lines for the sky, keeping the paint going all the same way. I'm just washing it all in. We can mix a couple of shades of blues. Just sort of mix it all in like that. Just keep it all going across all one way, like that. And just into there. And then we're going to come to this. So it's quite light. I'm not going too sort of wet with the paint. And we can just go over it a bit darker there. So you only need a touch of paint on it. And just pull it all in like that. So we've got that in there. And then I'm going to work my way down to doing the hills. Now I'm going to do those a purpley colour. So I'm going to put a little touch of blue onto some red and just work it in like that. And then just see what happens. We'll start there. And it's a sort of nice purplish shade there in there, look, going down. Again, I'm keeping the paint going all the same way. Just across, nice and light like this. This is a watercolour. It doesn't have to be really thick and heavy. Touch more paint and I'll go in there. It's a little bit redder. A bit of blue, more blue on there. Painting is sort of seeing what happens and exploring. I just don't always know what's going to happen with the paints. So I'm carefully just going around those edges there. I want to try and keep it going one way. And this is a good way if you're going out onto the prom or out and about, if you can do for a little time when we're all on lockdown, to sort of take your paints and maybe do a bit of sketching here and there and find somewhere nice and quiet or in the garden. So that's there, sort of going across there, that's the hills. And then we'll come down where it's a little bit lower and it's more sort of green fields in the distance. So again, I'll start at the right hand side there, get some more paint on. Again, not too wet. We'll just pop that in there like that and run it across. Sort of in there like that. It's just a sketch, it's just about sort of amusing yourself and exploring. Like that, and just lightly go across. So it's all nice and steady, like that. So that's roughly the outline of the boat and the sails. And then we're going to, I think I'll start to put some of the water in now. I'm going to mix a little bit of the white and a bit of green. And I'm going to start again at the top, working down. I'm not putting loads of paint in here. What I'm going to do is sort of mix it up like this. Just pulling the colours across like that, and in between those gaps there, some little bits, not going over the sails like that. And then we could have, because when you look at the sea, it's all different colours. So I'm going to have a little bit of green in there as well. So it just all just sort of looks as though it's blended in like that. Some light green, touch more. A little bit darker around the base of the boat, so where it'll be blocking the light out. And maybe a touch more when I look at it just on the horizon, just a bit darker in there, like that. So there we are, there's sort of roughly the background. Now what I'm going to do for the sails is probably just make them slightly pink, just to give it a bit of colour on there. So a touch of red into that white, and we'll just wash it down like the sails would go, sort of like that. Keeping that like that. When I'm holding the brushes, I hold them quite low down, and then you're in control of the brush. Doesn't matter if some of the paint's a little bit thicker here and there. Or a bit darker with the next one. There we go, and there again. That's a little bit darker, it doesn't matter though. It's just all about experimenting. And there, and go for the final one. Too much water on there. I'll wash that in there like that. Going down and then following it down like that. So there's not loads of paint on it. It's just dragging it down like that, all in one direction. Like that, around those people down there. And just go back over that. I think we'll have that little bit darker as well. And once you've done a watercolour as well, or poster paints or anything, if you're not too happy with it, you can always go over it in short pastels, and that really sort of punches the colours up, and you can highlight things. And then I'm wondering about the colour of the boat at the bottom. I think we should go with something like a rusty colour, like an old-fashioned yacht. So I'm going to get some brown, a little bit of that lighter brown there, and just wash that in, keeping it all going one way like that. So that all the little works in to there, like that. And I'm going to pop that brush down. I've got one of my smaller brushes, and I'm going to paint the people in there, just get a bit more detail in with that. Getting in there and just pop them in like that. They're just sat at the back of the boat, and they've got the sailing jackets on. So I'll do a nice bright red like that. And then I can have some dark hair. Just put that in there like that. It's a suggestion. And someone can have some blonde hair. So I'll have a bit of the yellow in there like that. And put that in. It's quite a hard colour to get on there. That. Get that going. There. And a bit of a pigtail. Right, and I'm just going to have a touch of brown now, a suggestion of the mast that holds the sails up. So we can just go up like that. And you can always turn the paper around to suit the angle of the brush, so you're not working against yourself. So it's just all that way, keeping it all going one way again, like that. Just give it over, go over that again. Like so. And then I'm just going to pop another one on the bottom of the mast there, just going across. There we go, you see, and then maybe just a touch of dark. The paint's drying, so I'm going to put a bit of black just to highlight the top of the boat there. Just in there like that. And then inside we'll have a little bit, what colour should we have the deck? I think something like that, nice light brown there. Just get a bit of paint on there, just as though we're looking at slightly into the boat. Looking down on it to give it a bit of 3D. Oh, I missed a bit there, look. Oop. There. So you get the idea. It's quite a simple little drawing, and you can highlight things. Might just get some of the darker red, maybe just a touch in there to give it a bit of character on the sails. Like that. I think that's pretty pretty it for now, with a touch of brown on there where it's just going in there. Give a suggestion, maybe a flag at the back. So we could just have that. Some white on there, I'll just wipe that orange off the white. And get some white on, and just a suggestion of the flag at the back. And then a touch of red in the corner for it. So it's going to be a jack there. So there we are. One more thing, I'll just sign my name in a corner. And I'll just put my chas on there like that. There, and then we have a little sailing boat. So it's just a very simple little drawing. Over the next few weeks, I'll show you things about perspective and acrylic paints. And so I hope you enjoy that. And anyway, look forward to seeing your work. Thanks now. Bye-bye.